Okay, so you all set?
Lori, I gave you that vendor list updated, okay?
I've gotten a few calls.
Okay.
She got a paper notary
Well, the dentist.
course and
Father picked her up early.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'll call this meeting to order. This is the Town of Luzerne agenda meeting, Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Oven. Councilwoman Pettis,
Here.
Councilwoman McMahon,
Here.
Councilman Horton, Supervisor Niles.
Well, before we start, it's nice to see some live bodies. Last couple of meetings, I think we've had one person total in person. So thanks for coming. I guess we'll get right into our agenda. Start off with Pam.
Not if you talk loud. Can you talk loud?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. As town historian, and the first part of this is about our 250th national celebration of the Revolutionary War. Locally, yes, we weren't in any battles or anything like that, but on my research of our 9 cemeteries, we have from 14 to 20 Revolutionary soldiers that are buried here. So the copy of the logo that
I passed it out, Pam.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
That's what's in front of.
It doesn't like.
So the copy that you have in front of you, and I'll pass this around for you to look at, is my concept of how I could promote and celebrate these people that served. They served, and I think they're important. And so I use the kind of the motto, a road to freedom, because they had to walk someplace to get there, to register, to serve, to whatever happened in those days, how that happened. But anyway, so I've created that logo that's on the inside, but approached it to have it being a poster. So at other times it could be used to have a message for my history day or whatever's coming up. So the point was to show you that. So following the identifying their headstones, the majority are in the Methodist Cemetery on East River Road. There's 7 there. So we have a local senior fella, Tanner Brooks, who's working on his Eagle Scout badge. And I invited him, would he consider being part of it? He said yes, he's delved into it. He's been working on the paperwork that he has to do for a couple of months now. But he and his troop members would soft clean the headstones. This isn't a power thing, a power machine or anything like that. The formula liquid that's used that we have is what they use at Arlington Cemetery, the national cemeteries. And we'll have a company that does restoration that will help us, and our local funeral director will help us and be there as additional adult folks. So we haven't scheduled anything, but I wanted to bring you up to date because isn't there always a concern about the stones and this, that, and permission and stuff like that, and insurance, kids going into a space that's town property. So Wendy from Marshall Sterling will send a statement back that we covered, because your blanket policy that's this big will cover folks being on certain properties. So I was to provide a list of our 9 cemeteries, and I did that. She'll provide a statement back to the supervisor, and also will delve into the New York State Town Rule of Law 291 that backs up that after 14 years you can do this, blah, 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 that we're not going to find people that easy. So that's the update that we're moving forward to recognize these folks that were part of the big picture.
Any questions?
One little additional tidbit, Tanner, the student she's talking about, is on the baseball team and they're in Warrensburg or Lake George.
He's ours. He's ours. Lives in the beach. Yeah, he's ours.
So at the game, he's at a game.
Yeah, he's at a good round. Apologize. No.
No.
Tanner's a great kid.
But he is communicating with the supervisor because my understanding as an Eagle Scout, he personally has to be doing most all the paperwork and the decisions and the arranging and whatever happens, getting the project done.
By the way, if you folks don't know, Marshall Sterling is our insurance company. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any problem?
Nothing.
So
Thank
no
you.
support. Thanks for
Thanks,
doing
Pam.
it.
Thanks,
You're
Pam.
welcome.
Thanks.
That Sheriff LaFar didn't want me down there. Things are working out good.
That's all right.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks again. So it's been a great project. I found it really neat to find out that many
Oh, yeah.
Revolutionary War veterans are
Thank
very,
you.
very
Thank
good.
you more too, because in the day, the cemeteries were listed differently because you were the town. You know, the towns were bigger before they broke down into individual like we are today. Anyway, it's good. I'll keep you posted.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for what you do. Are you staying? You want me to walk you out?
No, I'm good.
You got,
I'm
okay.
good.
Okay, we'll head on to our next presentation. Howard Schaefer and Mannix Marketing. You have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you to Supervisor Niles and the Lake Luzerne Town Board. We have a brief presentation here that ties in with building on the comprehensive plan that everyone is familiar with. There are a number of elements that there are to that. A number have already been initiated. Some are yet to be instituted. The area today that we'll be briefly discussing is the role of marketing. As you know, marketing plays an important element in addressing some of the growth and economic needs of the town of Lake Luzerne. So we're here to tie in with that. I'm joined by Sarah Mannix from Mannix Marketing, who you may be familiar with. They've played a key role in marketing a tremendous number of upstate New York institutions, nonprofit organizations, businesses. They have a strong connection with all of us here in Lake Luzerne with WH that Sarah will talk about. The future depends on the comprehensive plan, and bringing about this plan will hopefully eventually return us to what was the heyday of Lake Luzerne. And even though everybody in this room is too young to remember the heyday of Lake Luzerne, we've all heard the stories from people like Lester Thomas or Francis Kinnear or Fred and Edie Gardner and B. Evans of what it was like when there was a thriving little village, multiple restaurants. There was the Garner Leather Works back 100 years ago. So we're all familiar with that and looking to find ways that we can build on the strengths and attributes of this community. And as everybody here knows, there are plenty and there's lots of them. So we hope to be able to help bring this together from a marketing perspective to bring this to light. Sarah, take it from here.
Hi, thank you for having me here. So the strategic plan called for a distinctive brand that attracts businesses, supports the residents, and brings visitors in. And you've done a lot of great work. Congratulations on the food truck event. It's amazing. I come up here a lot in the summer because my sister-in-law is here, and this is an incredible location. So I'm here to share what you may want to consider and think about, is this important to you? Is marketing these aspects important to you, and how we could accomplish that if you are interested?
So let's begin both with two areas that we know that are important to the evolution of any community like this, the website and media. And we'll start with what we call the pain point. And as everybody here knows, there has been, I'd almost say that in many ways, local Luzerne has been victimized by media. A lot of negative press. And you think of some of the press that we've gotten on issues like the water main breaks or the car crashes on Route 9N. You have stories that have run on Channel 6, NPR, Times Union, the Chronicle. I don't have to tell you, everybody here has in one way or another been exposed to the negative press that local Luzerne has been at the center of over the past few years. And I look at that and as well as a news reporter in my heart, I see that those also present so many opportunities. They present opportunities because for every negative news story, there's an opportunity for a positive news story, and I'll get into that a little bit more. We recognize so many of the attributes of human Luzerne, the people, the environment, all of the services that they know. There's many great news stories to tell in electronic and digital media. That gets out there, but with a plan of action, with a game plan, with a roadmap, as part of the comprehensive plan, we will be able to broadcast, so to speak, the rest of who local Luzerne is. Through electronic and print media. And again, that's only a piece of what this plan is all about.
Next slide, please. One more slide. So you ever say, wait, Mannix, didn't you do the website? Like, what? You're calling it a Franken website? Yeah, 7 years ago, we developed this website, but to your credit, we're very active people at the town who are always saying, gosh, we need this on the website, and they're adding it. And we need that on the website, and they're adding it. Because your needs are changing and evolving. And the original website 7 years ago did not do justice to who you are today. You've changed a lot. Your plans have changed. What you want to accomplish has changed. And when somebody adds a PDF of the restaurants to the website because it's easy and there really wasn't a section of it and the restaurants have changed, well, that PDF is not really readable on a small iPhone, right? Or they add announcements on a page that didn't have a way for the announcements to be added in an easy way. They're trying to stick it on, and it's really hard for your people to keep the site updated because there's not locations. It's not built for the tremendous changes you've had as a town. And therefore, when you get to the website, I look at it and I go, oh no, it's changed a lot. And so what's happened is it's so overloaded with information, it's become less user-friendly because you have so much of a story to tell, but it's not well organized anymore. And can we go back to the other slide for a little bit? A lot of the information that was added in a way that it won't read well on a phone without pinching and zooming. And that's not great. Plus, it's not great for search engines to find you and for your reputation. The next thing that it's concerning is the things that were added make it not accessible. So ADA compliance means we're accessible to people with disabilities. And so that's another reason that I think that if it's in the budget, that a redesign, it might be a good time for a redesign. Now we can go to the next slide. When I was looking at the comprehensive plan, it talks about economic development from the ability to fill commercial real estate. And that wasn't part of the original purpose of the site 7 years ago, but it looks like that's how you're evolving. And if that is something that you're evolving into, it could be a great opportunity to put that online in a way that is compelling and helps people want to bring a restaurant and want to bring businesses here that will lower taxes for the residents. And there's definitely opportunities on the site to help economic development.
What's interesting.
So this is just a report, the next slide. So that's what one of your pages looks like on a mobile phone, one back. go one back. There you go. So that's what it looks like. And I don't think any of you can read that, but that's what it looks like to the average person looking for a restaurant. The next slide just shows you a report on ADA compliance, and there's 26 errors on the page. So those are things that we'd love to see be able to fix for you. Next page. So what do we offer? Howard's a PR guy. I have a marketing agency. So how can we help you? This next slide. The next slide, these are just some customers we work with, Double H Ranch, Fort William Henry.
Playing enough with local people.
Yeah, who employ a lot of local people, BBL Construction, in that area. And the point of showing these is where your site could go, and that we understand tourism, we understand economic development. I think this is yours.
From that point, aside from the corporate marketing that is so successfully designed by Mannix, locally here in Lake Luzerne, I've had the opportunity to work with a number of people here and throughout the town in putting together the both digital and the hard copy mailer newsletters for both the Lake Luzerne Association and for the Historical Society. These are a couple samples. Everybody here has seen them. And what is especially, I'd say, motivational is each time we put together a newsletter, whether it's digital or whether it's hard copy mailing, we always get requests from people who say, can you get me another copy? Or can you get me 10 copies? Or can you send this to my brother in Florida? You know, who had one of those. So these marketing tools, and that's exactly what they are. They are these marketing tools promoting the town of Lake Luzerne, its history, its preservation efforts, its work for the watershed by our Lake Association that everybody here is familiar with. We're proud of this. This is probably more than any other individual tool, working with a group of volunteers has really made a huge difference in our community. Every time we send one of these letters out, we get more members, not just from the community, not just from local people, but from visitors from out of town. People make donations because they care about the watershed and the environment and the milfoil program. And best of all, these are fun to do. So it's with, in that vein that we're going to be continuing to put these out on a regular basis.
Okay. So just looking through the strategic plan, what we've seen with a lot of small towns in the Adirondacks is that they've moved to branding, creating a brand that they want to see on hats, on t-shirts, a brand that kind of tells their story in a way that's compelling. When you have a story like you have people coming in because you've got an amazing event that brings people in from all over, you have an opportunity to sell that and have people wear a product that has your brand on it, that makes them proud, that creates a natural pride. And branding is more than a logo. It's about creating a series of graphics and visuals that tell your story about who you are and what you have available, whether it's iconography for the Adventure Row, all the things you have adventure-wise, your history, all of it. It's about creating something that has components that could be made into fun items to help promote yourself. And that brand then translates to the newsletters, it translates to the website, and it creates a community pride. Communications is what Howard does. It's getting improved news coverage. It's making sure that the residents know what you're doing and all of that, and keeping that information out. And ideally, we'd love to see you have a website that visually sells all that you have to offer. And a dynamic events calendar to really showcase what you have available that can be pulled into different businesses' websites. There's just a lot you can do with what you're already putting together. Like you've done all this work, but none of it's really showcased on the site. So I just think there's just so much opportunity if you were excited about it, if it's something that you felt was something you wanted to do. Next. And is there a return on investment? What's the value of this? It's really hard. I think that if the site were to address commercial real estate, right there alone, that ROI would be there for you. If we were able to fill some commercial properties the way you want, because we're showcasing them in a way that is compelling, and it creates a landing area for people who might want to invest in the area. Improved tourism is a good, strong ROI, and local pride. That's what we would hope would come out of this program.
As Sarah just mentions, a key word, people who may be able to invest in the area. And frankly, right now, with the type of news coverage that there is of our corner of the index, what are investors going to think? There's a question. We're a town of 52 square miles. There's also opportunity there. And again, all of us know the attributes that can become important stories to tell on the website, in media, and in moving forward to tie in with the comprehensive plan. We would be looking forward to working with you to make this a part of the plan as the roadmap to the future is based on the comprehensive plan. And between Sarah's background with Mannix Marketing and my own, we're two people who, with a great team, can put something worthwhile together for you. So we are grateful for your consideration. If you think this is worthwhile, let's talk more, and we're happy to put something together. I have a survey. We have a survey that we're going to be giving to the town board members that will be seeking your input, your ideas, your constructive thoughts and criticisms that'll give us an idea on how we might be able to proceed from this point.
Does anyone have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Certainly gives us something to think about. Next item on the agenda. This is in the context of occupancy tax applications from the Luzerne Music School. I assume we have Simon and Emily. And Mike Conway, I don't know if he's going to talk or not. You have the floor.
Can we approach the bench?
Sure.
There we go.
Where do you get that?
I'm gonna get one.
Bigger than each guy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This looks familiar.
It does. And you're gonna see more of it, Jim. So, well, let me first start by saying thank you for the opportunity to come before you. We should know that this morning we turned the water on at the camp and everything came on. With no leaks and that sort of thing. So things are looking up. We're prepared to respond to our application in terms of two things. One, what we draw from the outside world and internally to the camp. And then what is it that the visitors to and students to and professional musicians and other professionals add back to the community here in Lake Luzerne by virtue of essentially 10 weeks worth of operation, which is what we're doing right now. So I can go into that. I can also go into, if I were sort of sitting in your position, contributed over many years this occupancy tax to help us. And in doing so, if I were sitting up there, I'd be like, is this money for good? Is it going to last? Is it going in a hole? So if anybody has any financial questions, I'm prepared to answer any of those as well. Some of you know, Karen, you certainly have been in the middle of it we just finished essentially $4 million worth of improvements at the camp with another 4 to go. And that's moving along as well. So By way of introduction, Emily's the one who runs the camp for us from the day-to-day operation. And Simone is actually both of you were campers at one point. So Simone comes to us to run both the essentially the fundraising side of what we're doing. And he's the one that put together the application for the $7,500. A couple of things in front of you today. One is the annual report. And let me just take 2 seconds to go through that and highlight it for you. If you turn to just the opening cover, there's 45 different entities there throughout this community that support Luzerne Music Center. And you can see pictures of who those organizations are. And I think that's a real strength. And I will say that there are CEOs and board members and shareholders in those organizations that visit the camp and thoroughly enjoy not only what's going on, but add back financially and physically to what's going on in the camp. The next page over on page 2, about a third of our campers come from the Northeast area, if you will, another third from the United States, and we actually have another third or so from 17 different countries that come into the community. And, you know, it's funny, these professional musicians that are ages 9 to 18 fly into JFK with their instruments. We pick them up and they travel up here to the woods. You would be surprised at how many of them come back or become teachers in the process. So there's this community, if you think about it. Bert and Toby, who founded the Music Center, played for the Philadelphia Orchestra at SPAC and vacationed in Lake Luzerne. Philadelphia Orchestra plays at our camp and also does master classes for our students. And they have one hell of a softball team that crushes us every year. But so there's a lot of interaction that goes on, and you can see the sort of things that we're involved with. Number of campers per year averages somewhere around 170 or so. Our current facilities can handle just about 75 or so people coming in. That also, you must know that they apply for admission to the camp. It's not just, I want to go. Different disciplines within music are chosen, and basically to fill out an orchestra, number one, but number two, all of the different teaching elements that go into that process are involved there. We bring staff in, probably 80% of our staff is from out of town. And the other 20% is from local community. So if you ask me sort of what's going on, you know, what do we provide back? If you look at page 5, top right-hand corner, we provide student performances. And we do 20 of those, and they're all different mixed. It's chamber music, it's piano, it's orchestra stuff, and it's that kind of thing. Some of these students even write their own music and explain it and play it and that kind of stuff. All of those concerts are free. And, you know, we need to get that word out. And Howard and Sarah just reminded me, why aren't we getting more of that word out to the community and getting people over there from our community? We also have faculty concerts, and we also have 3 separate Monday night performances, which are professional musician groups, including our CEO, Elizabeth Pitcairn, playing. And I don't know if you know the size of the lodge that's on the campus, but it's pretty big. People are hanging outside of there for these particular performances. And these people come from Lake George, Saratoga, East, West, Albany area, and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of people coming into the community. So that's just a quick summary of what's going on. If you ask me what our budget was and what we are, the budget this year is about $1.9 million. Tuition raised in that is about $900,000 or so, of which we provide $498,000 of scholarships for these kids. So essentially half of the revenue that we take in, we give out in scholarships to bring in musicians. These musicians usually arrive with 1 or 2 parents or caregivers. They usually stay in town because it's a carryover of time between the end of or the beginning of a particular session. And they've spent money here. The restaurants, if we could only have some of the restaurants back that we had, that would be wonderful. And really something that I would love to see on a going forward basis. So that's a little bit about how we're operating. This is the brochure and the material that you have. I think that was in there, wasn't it? Couple of those here. This is what we put together every year with some of the occupancy tax money that we receive. And I think it's on page, what was it, Simon? 5, 10, 20. The big Luzerne Music Center is, or Luzerne community is prominently presented in there. And this goes out to all people, but it gives you a sort of a flavor for what we do day in, day out. We take in about $20,000 worth of revenue from ads and gifts, small gifts and stuff like that. Our operating expenses on this are 70.
That's 46 and
46. So we're 20 in the hole in terms of going out to the community with information about how the camp is operated. The other thing we put in here, which I think is very interesting, you have some time to sort of take a look at it. It's the one with the there. Top of the page says our history and roots. That gives you a summary of what's going on in the camp, our existence of over 46 years. This number of students, the 400 to 500 visitors that we bring in each year, the concerts on page 2. And then finally, we actively promote Lake Luzerne in the sense of what's going on as part of that. So included in all of our material is people's ability to scan. That's on the website and also in the information that we send out. So let me stop there and field any questions if you have them. Questions?
Well, I just have a question on the amount, the cost of the event. So that is all the concerts for the concert series
So
on the application.
yeah, on the application, this is on the application. So on the application, we showed concert series ticket sales of about $10,000. We showed program ad sales of about $10,000 for total revenue of $20,000 for concert series project. Our expenses around that are the guest artists cost us $20,000, the box office personnel $5,000, concert series marketing and advertising $10,000. That booklet that you have in front of you is $7,000 to permit, and then recruitment for advertising. So we run up about $46,500 worth of expenses.
Okay, gotcha.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's,
Where do you distribute these?
we have those at every concert on our campus. We also have smaller brochures. Smaller brochures like these, which we distribute throughout the region and kind of brochure stands and local businesses, not only in Lake Luzerne, but also in Lake George area, Saratoga Springs, and surrounding area.
That booklet, area that you're referring to there is pretty expensive to produce, but it's got a summary of everybody who's performing there, which if you ever read through that, you'd say, my goodness, what are they doing in Lake Luzerne? They love it. I mean, this is a world-renowned place. So are you suggesting maybe we more widely distribute that?
I'm just asking, do you advertise it all through like Warren County Tourism? Or do you? You do?
Yes. Yep.
So like
And-
when they go on for their shows, do you also bring do they bring these books or do they bring their brochures? To promote that, like
We
a travel
perform at
guide?
Lake George, once a year, twice a year. It was at the old Shell.
Yeah, we actually also do some additional library concerts throughout the region, and Shimon brings all of our materials to those as well. So we were in the Lake Luzerne Library this past summer, and then we went to Saratoga
Warrensburg, and I think that might be it, but yeah, we're planning some for this summer as well. I'm in touch with the library in Corinth, the Saratoga Springs again, and I'm sure we'll have one concert at the Lake Luzerne Library as well.
Okay. Cause I mean, like they do offer, like the tourism department does offer free advertising. You know, well, not all free advertising, but they will help promote your events,
Okay.
things like that. I didn't know if you partake in any of that.
We are part of the Lake George
Chamber,
Chamber of
but
Commerce.
how about Warren County Tourism? Because I do see you. You do venture out different towns where that Warren County is pretty big and they
Yeah.
can also help.
Thank you for that. We'll look into it and get our name. All of them. You have a name up there or is it just?
Get it.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
What's the program that you put an ad in the county roads? Excuse me. They,
Travel guide.
That's a Lake George travel guide. Yeah, that's Lake George.
videos and stuff in it.
Yep.
That was, that was a couple $1 million the county spent.
Lake George
4 years
TV.
ago.
Lake George TV. Are you guys on that? You know?
We were last year, yeah.
The Lake George Mirror. What's the name of
The
the
Mirror?
picture?
Mhm.
He's been to our campus 4 or 5 times, written articles about us. We've had channel 6 or 13 come up and do a whole interview of what's going on the campus and that sort of thing. And that they'll probably be back again. George Hurst, the Times Union is a huge supporter of the camp. And he's been very instrumental in getting folks up for essentially creating communication about the camp.
We've had a Times Union reporter come on our campus last year, and there was a pretty big article posted via Times Union as well.
You and I spoke for 5 seconds a couple of years ago about doing a local concert. And about the same time as when we started thinking about the food truck idea, and it's still in the back of my head. Our little pavilion, I suspect acoustically for classical instruments and stuff is probably terrible.
You know,
But I'd still like to keep that idea alive somehow.
Yeah. I don't want to step on Emily's toes on this, but we'd be delighted.
Yeah, that's what you told
let's
me.
figure out how to do
Yeah.
that. It may be that there's a night held on the campus for the Luzerne community or some such thing, but I think
Yeah,
you have such a draw to that pavilion throughout the summer. It'd be nice if we could see if we can make something work for that.
we added I should say Pam added another concert. We're doing 7 this year.
Really,
And 3 of those are expected to draw 1,000 people.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Do you have an estimate of how many people attend your normal concerts that you have throughout the week? Like,
The Monday night concerts, which are special out of town artists. We put about 150 people into the lodge for that. 3 of those, we used to do 4 or 5 and it was too much. In terms of the kids concerts, the faculty concerts,
They tend to be pretty well attended. The student concerts obviously draw a lot of the families to come in and so there's probably normally about 60 people at those. As well, and then they're all free as well.
do you see a lot of locals go up there?
not nearly enough.
Okay.
And it's a burr under my saddle not having solved that. Because I think we have a lot to give back to the community, be it educational or even to people who are up here vacation to make sure we get all of them over. And we've got the usual patrons that come and they'll bring friends and that sort of thing. But we haven't cracked that nut the way we should.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I asked, because I mean, if I'm being honest, I've lived here most of my life. My grandparents were big fans of the music camp. But I've never been. And I don't know why, because I would enjoy going to these. It's not something that's in the forefront of my mind when it's going on. So I was curious how many locals had gone.
Not enough. Dave.
Okay.
And the interesting thing is you come in and watch these 9, 10, 11-year-olds play. You're like, holy smokes.
Blow you away.
This is why I gave it up myself years ago. But then the big kids come in and it'll just blow your mind in terms of their talent. And these kids, come from all over, and have credentials for what they're doing. So anyway, there's a lot going on, but I will tell you that on a budget of $1.9 million, we'll probably spend 2 million, and every year seems to be just like this in terms of our operational expenses. So your gift grant to us means a lot, and we just wanted you to know we use it wisely.
What
think
is the span of
Some people
time?
might not know it, but the music camp is a not-for-profit.
Yes, it is.
What is the span of time? Do you operate from May to September? Where are you at?
Good question. The actual schedule for concerts and that sort of thing starts June 21st.
All the way until late August, so 17.
Essentially 8 weeks of operation, but
Okay.
there's probably 2 weeks shoulders on that. And, as the board of the camp has gotten together, we keep saying, can we expand that shoulder? To maybe into October and maybe do something in May. And I think when we finish our renovations there, we'll have more of a capability of doing that, but that's something that's definitely on our mind. And something even like alumni weekend or alumni week afterwards and maybe before. There's a lot that can be done on that. We also borrow instruments from the school as well to help our musicians. We usually get what are the drums and the.
Yep, all the percussion instruments, the
That's it.
timpani,
Right.
Joanne has been a really wonderful supporter and we've also worked with some Lake Luzerne students. We try to get students that are kind of interested in Wyatt Rourke and Brady Hayes have been coming for, I think this might be their 4th summer now.
So our footprint is expanding both locally and nationally and internationally.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll get to that information to you.
Our next presenter tonight is the semi-retired Terry Cervini from the Adirondack Book School. I felt terrible that I was away for my anniversary when you had your little retirement party, but now I don't feel so bad.
We may need to have another one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Booklets for you, just. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well. I just wanted to say thank you for giving us an opportunity to talk a bit about what we do, what we're working on now, what our strategy is for what it's been for the last few years and what we're looking forward to doing in the next couple of years. I think, just like Mike said, for the music center, the occupancy tax monies have been really important to the operating budget. Certainly for us, we run an operating budget of about, this year it's 500,000. It's been running about 350 to 400,000. And over the last 3 years, we are now approaching 500,000. And anticipate, just like Mike was indicating before, our expenses will take us close to 496,000 of that 500,000. So if we're lucky, we will do what we can to broaden that even further. But it's tight, and what we try to accomplish in a year is 300 classes and programs that we teach with 75 instructors. And that you'll find in this catalog. And these are programs that we run both at the 51 Main Street location as well as a few up in Lake George. We now have an Adirondack Folk School sign officially up there, so we're just like the other stores in the outlet do, and so it's giving us much better visibility than in the past. So that's been great. We are serving now over 1,000 students a year. So last year was over 1,100. And that number is continuing to grow. So for the last, I would say, since the pandemic, that number has continued to grow. So we're excited that we're still seeing an interest, but also seeing those numbers grow. About 34% of those students are coming from upstate New York. About 34 come from Albany in the greater capital region, and about 20% are from New York outside of the state. So we do see folks coming from up and down the eastern seaboard. We even have a few coming from Canada, and one from Costa Rica, I think it was this past year. So we're excited about that, but we also want to ensure that we are providing the kind of programming that is attractive to folks that are within the Adirondack Blue Line and within our own community. So that's really important to us. I think when the school first started in 2010, as a way to ensure that you had an audience and folks who could, take a class during the week and, learn a new skill. It was initially, I think, our main audience were retirees, who had time and expendable income and were able to really focus on this as a passion. Since then, we've really been, as we've been growing, we've been expanding a bit. And one of the things in my time here that I've used the occupancy tax monies for has been to help establish special programming and free and low cost, no and low cost programming and scholarship support. So we started a festival, don't want it to compete at all with the bands and trucks. But we started a festival so that we could introduce our own community to what happens at our campus. And so we have about 18 of our instructors demoing from blacksmithing to woodworking and ceramics and jewelry and basketry and all kinds of things. We like to have them on display to be able to talk about and show folks what they do. You can even try some hands-on activities. And then we have instructors teaching kids all throughout the day. We've been inviting bands in. They haven't been as big as your bands, but this year the Stony Creek Band has offered to come. So
There you
we're very
go.
excited about that. And we have the woman who sings in the Big Yellow Taxi. She's coming to also join in for one of the programs. So we're excited about that. That's a free program. We want families to come see what we do. And we've also created a kids program because that's our future. If the folk school is going to be around for a really long time, we need to ensure that we have the next generation audience that's really excited, bought in. And that means attracting young families who have young children. And so we created a summer program where we offer 8 classes over 8 weeks. They're just 2 hours in the afternoon on Thursdays, but $10 per kid. As a way to really try to ensure we're continuing that whole educational process with them. And then we've also instituted evening programs. Those happen on Thursday evenings typically. Some of them are free. Most of them are $25 a person. And I think I've got a schedule in there and they range from all kinds of varying workshops where you can learn about the wildlife in the Adirondacks to embroidery to weaving to learning how to forge a knife in 2 hours. So we're trying to ensure that we have other ways to introduce the greater community to try your hand at something, spend a couple of hours. And if you really like this, we've got more classes and you can try, and take them a little further or try something new. So we've also been raising some dollars for scholarship and up until now, we've just about run out. We've been able to, anyone who's applied online, we can offer a $250 scholarship for the class of their choice. And for many classes, that will suffice. Our half-day classes are running about $75 to $100. And our full-day classes run about 120 to, upwards, depending on materials costs and that kind of thing. So when you get that going into a multi-day, those can be a little more costly. So it was really important for us to fill in and find some ways to do that. The new programming, year one, I think, for the summer festival, we started with 250 people that day. We felt really good about it. But the kids programming, year one, we had 12 kids for the entire program. And the evening programs, we had about 75 over, a couple month period. So we worked really hard on doing more marketing and getting advertising and promotion. And last year, we just felt really good about it. We had 56 young kids come and participate in 8 classes. We had about 120 people attend the evening programs, and we only ran 7 last year. We're doubling that this year. And we had about 220 some back at the summer festival. And we launched with our Wee Lassie alumni who built canoes. Many of them came back and we launched them on the lake to start the festival. And it was a beautiful, beautiful sight. There were about 20 of them on the lake. What I think we asked for this year was continued support for these special programs to help us really continue to promote them and get our word out there that they're available for people. One of the things that we'd also specifically asked for support, which just arrived today, and we rolled it out to check on it, was a big banner to go across Glen Street in Glens Falls to advertise the summer festival. So we're super excited about that. It will give us great exposure. And then from there, it will go to the Bay Road area. I think that corner by those. Yeah. And, get the Luzerne name out there and try to get more folks back here. That's what we try to do. We also are seeing a lot more folks who, especially for a multi-day class, is staying overnight. Any instructor who needs to travel to this area to teach. We've made a deal with Motel Luzerne and a couple of other spots, but Motel Luzerne is so close, they can walk to school, so many choose there. We'll be placing 50 nights worth of those instructors in this year. And we see on average about 150 of our students who report to us when they stay overnight, and that includes Luzerne as well as the Lake George area. So we want to keep that moving and keep folks coming back to this area. We thank you. I think these programs are really important for bringing the next generation in and ensuring that our own neighborhood knows that we want to be here to offer things that are compelling, interesting, and affordable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks,
Are
Terry.
you also with the travel guide in Warren County?
Yes,
You are.
yeah. I mean, we work with them very
Yeah.
closely
Get
and
the events out, let people know what's happening. Yeah.
in fact, I just sent something also to the Lake George Regional Chamber, but they invited us to be a part of the tour they did last year when they brought all of those industry folks in from across the state.
Yeah.
So that was really wonderful. It was a great opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Terry. Shall we move on, team?
Sure.
Now we get down to the nitty gritty.
Yes.
Thank you all for those presentations. We won't be insulted if you don't stay for the next part of the meeting. We got to pay the bills.
Proposed resolution to pay the bills of the 8th abstract of 2026 as presented, general fund vouchers 6481 to 6501. With the exception of 6486, which was deleted in the amount of $573.39 from your original agenda that I emailed out on Friday. So the new total's $18,061.47. Highway fund vouchers 6502 to 6511 and 6521 to 6531, $20,306.58. SW1, which is the Lake Luzerne Water District, vouchers 6532 to 6534, $1,571.15. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
Did everybody sign the abstracts?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution to provide occupancy tax funds in the amount of to the Adirondack Folk School for 2026 expenses related to various programs. How much do you guys want?
Did we have a motion on that last time or?
It was all tabled.
Tabled. I would like to make the motion for the 7,000 that they are
Ask.
requesting,
I'll second that.
That's the folk school.
the folk school.
Folk school.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution to provide occupancy tax funds in the amount of to the Luzerne Music Center for 2026 expenses related to various concerts.
I'll make that motion for $7,500.
I'd second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution to authorize the supervisor to enter into and execute an agreement between the town of Lake Luzerne and New England Aquatic Services LLC to conduct invasive species plant harvesting on Lake Luzerne over a 10-day period for an amount not to exceed $27,250, which amounts to a daily rate of $2,750 and an hourly rate of $392.85.
Everybody remember? It's the one I talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution to surplus an old sweeper and two parts sweepers and sell for $7,000. Did you check on that too?
We're good.
Cause I had Googled.
Oh, yes, yes.
Can you do that without bidding?
To other municipalities.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
And this is to Hadley. I'm gonna add to Hadley in this resolution.
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. And I would like to ask for an executive session to talk about a certain employee.
Okay, I got a couple other things first. Okay. Correspondence. Probably all saw letter from Barb Mitchell. I guess I kind of think it should be put in the record that Barb is retiring June 26th.
Do you have to accept the resignation?
I told her we wouldn't.
You don't have to, okay.
Are we gonna put that in for the next meeting to talk about that or who we can replace her with?
Yeah,
Okay.
well. Is my recollection correct, ladies, that we determined we do not have to advertise for that position? Okay. Let's bring that up.
Yeah.
Actually. We should, because it's getting close.
Yes.
Excuse me. Pam got a price for the electrical work. I don't need authorization because it's under the limit, but everybody's all right. We'll go ahead with that.
I did send him a message and asked him about the box and he said it shouldn't be a problem. That'd be a ton of work to really change the box. Maybe you can get it on there better, so I can get down there when he's there.
Is it, well, why are you getting it out of, Jim? Is it budgeted? You got enough here?
This isn't budgeted, no.
Yeah,
But what line item are you gonna take it
I
from?
don't remember.
Okay,
It's Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, okay. long
We'll
as it's-
save some, we'll also save some money on that because he's going to change out the lights to LEDs. So in the long run, we will save some money on that.
Excuse me. As you have heard from our Life Association reports, they've become certified loon specialists. They'd like permission to put up 3 or 4 more signs. Around the area. The sign is obvious. It's, you know, how to behave around loons, and the plastic tube is a disposal can for fish lines and lures and stuff like that. Anybody have any problem with that?
No.
They had the one up last summer down the wayside.
Is that sign that's on it tells you what that is?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They also would like permission to put one up by where we have the kayak rack. Anybody? I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that'll be fine.
Are we renting out the kayak rack yet?
May 1st.
As of May 1st, okay.
Yeah, and we probably have already more inquiries than we have.
Have we? Okay.
spots. What's your feel about that? Should we build more?
No,
No.
We're back on the playground, in case anybody hasn't been by. Landscaping's coming along nicely. Take a walk by sometime.
Yes.
Anybody have anything from the loose ends list they want to talk about?
I do. Sorry. I was just wondering what do you think about, is the town gonna put portable toilets down there? In general for the playground? For the playground, cause see, last year there were toilets down there and then there's a chamber, we got some. And there was double. But I didn't, if the town's gonna put some there for the playground, or you just gonna go with what we got? I just don't wanna duplicate it again.
I wondered how that happened.
That's how that happened, and I didn't know that the town was putting them there.
You have it in your budget to do it?
I do.
fair enough.
Why don't we?
It comes out
Are you
occupancy
talking
tax
to
anyway.
him as a town board member, or you talking to him as a?
Chamber, I do have it in with the county to put some down there. But I just, they're only gonna be for the concert time, so if
Yeah.
people complain or
We'll
anything,
see how it goes.
that's fine.
Because the playground's gonna bring more people.
Yes, it is, and yeah,
We probably, I don't quite have the final number yet, because I don't know the cost of the blacktopping. But we'll probably have 10 or 15 grand left over at the playground. In that neighborhood.
yeah, and I forget how much it is. It's not a lot to have them for the 6 weeks, but I just didn't want to duplicate it. So, okay.
At the county, Ethan and Sarah were asking me about any trail progress. I said, I don't know if Dane's working on that or not.
Our last grant got denied. And we were waiting for the report from Chris still as to why it got denied. I don't know, we can move forward.
They told me there's a round of grants coming out in May that are typically due like the 1st of July, so we gotta keep our eyes open for that.
They also offered to help write the grants.
Yeah, they gave 2 different sources for the grants too.
Yeah,
So Dean, I don't mean to interrupt you.
no, that's kind of about right with the dates.
I believe so, but Dean, since you've been actively working on that, you might want to contact Ethan Gaddy at the planning department and Sarah Frankenfeld.
I'll give
We
you,
were also talking about the bike trail thing too, and there might be opportunities for that as well. So I would reach out to them.
okay, yeah, I spoke to him a couple weeks ago, but I'll give him another call.
They're working on the Hamlin, countywide Hamlin upgrade project.
Thriving Hamlet.
Mhm.
So they were here talking about that the other day. Anybody else have any announcements or whatever?
I just have one other thing, sorry.
Go ahead.
Just the vendor market, just an update on it. We have 26 vendors and we have 3 that are just informational. So that's gonna bring a pretty good money to the town for permits, and Lori always gets a spreadsheet to make sure that they all have permits, and we talk back and forth.
Going smooth,
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
no squeaky wheels.
I actually got one in the mail today when I got back.
Oh,
Yeah.
All processed
Yeah.
out.
Aaron, did you have something?
Ron has stuff too. Let's do, I have a list, so we'll do Ron.
Jim, we need to figure out what we're gonna do with the lead service inventory. AJ's waiting to hear back. He hasn't heard from anybody. We gotta figure out if we're gonna hire his company to hire out to do all them lead service checks. You want me to do it? We gotta hire a whole new crew, cause I can't do road work and go and dig water lines every day.
Just one small question. How are we gonna pay for it?
Oh, no. Either we pay for it or we get fined from the state, so take your pick. Something that we are putting off and off and off, and we can't kick the can down the road, so.
Okay. I will get all the AJ and maybe Mary and I can have a conversation about what are our responsibilities. Good, all set?
Yeah.
Karen?
I do have a list. First thing is, we've been getting calls, multiple calls on solar farms and these BESS, which are energy storage, battery energy. And we have nothing in our zoning ordinance. What we have is public-private utilities, which is what we feel these would fall under. Solar farm being big solar farm, not just individual houses with roof-mounted solar or individual ground-mounted solar panels for that particular home. This is like a big thing. The solar farm and the battery energy storage systems. We have nothing in our zoning ordinance specific to giving the planning board any guidelines as to what to look for. We spent some time doing some research online about especially the battery energy storage systems. I came up with a frequently asked questions from NYSERDA, NYSERDA is in New York State Energy Department, who I'm gonna say who would favor these because it's energy conservation, okay? The one thing that I took away from what I read in this pamphlet is that there appears to be a fire hazard with these battery energy storage systems, because one of the requirements that they are required to do is to have special training for the fire departments and yearly training for the fire departments in the event of some kind of an incident in these facilities. These battery energy storage systems take up usually less than an acre.
Depending on the power output, because I was talking to Matt Rogers. This is gonna be less than a commercial output, so some of them are commercial size where you're getting into more megawatts, but yeah.
But anyway, we don't have any regulations, anything for the planning board to have any guidelines to go by what, like what safe setbacks are, should they be screened, anything. So I'm going to ask, since we're in the process of doing the zoning update and it's going to be addressed in the update, there, we're going to provide something for, you know, for a guideline in the new zoning ordinance. I would like to propose that the town do a moratorium on these. And I think we should probably do it just on the general private public utility use that is listed in our use table and dimensional table until we have some guidelines as to what to do, what to look for. I'm understanding that you can do moratoriums for like 6 months up to a year. It looks like from the information we've gotten from Labella that their end goal date of the zoning update is May of 2027, which if we start this process now, a year would correspond with that. It would give us the year to get everything in line. So I wanted to bring that to you. I'm not sure exactly what it takes to put a moratorium in place. I'm assuming it's a public hearing and is it a local law? It is a local law, so it would be whatever we have to follow for a local law. But I wanted to put that out there because we are getting calls. There are people looking in our town. We were told that they target towns that have very loose zoning regulations because they're trying to get them in before the regulations become too tight. So I wanted to put that out there. I would like to discuss that at the regular town board meeting. I wanted to give you some time to have, so you can be thinking about it, okay? The next item that I have is our short-term rental law. It's come to our attention that there's a discrepancy in the filing of the local law, and we need to correct it. So the correction, after speaking with our attorney, is to take the original 2023 local law, make the changes that we had proposed in that 2024 local law, and we have just a couple little extra tweaks that we're talking about doing to it, put together a new local law for 2026 and get that in the works and get that approved so that we have something more up to date on the books. There's not a lot to be changed from what was in that 2024 proposal. One of the things that we talked about was changing the overall limit of the number of short-term rentals. It's presently at 120. We currently have about 75 active ones. Under 80. So the 120, I talked to Melissa in the assessor's office, and there are just a few under 3,000 parcels in the town. 120 is 4%, which is what we had targeted originally. If we drop that 4% to 3%, that would bring it to 90. I'm thinking that 90 might be a good number to cap it at, unless you feel it should be less or more. That would be up to you, but we did talk about it when this was brought up before about changing that cap. So I would like to discuss that at the regular town board meeting.
Hey, can I interrupt you?
Yep.
Does anybody have any problem with us authorizing?
No, we already did that.
To get working on that?
No. We talked about that 2 weeks ago.
If anybody has anything that they want changed in it, you should let her know.
With the goal of having the draft for next meeting. Yeah.
Yes.
90 is reasonable, yeah.
Okay. I'll move on to my next item. We had a gentleman in our office that lives over on Zermatt Street, which is the Second Lake community area. He has a pipe that runs, a culvert that runs through his road, it's through Zermatt, that dumps onto his property. And he is looking to put in a garage and a turnaround driveway on his property and where this culvert dumps into his property, it has caused a gully, I'm gonna say, a ditch kind of
2 foot deep.
yeah, through his property, and he thinks that the town should fix it. we went back to to the subdivision stuff, and Tucker had done a lot of research on the Second Lake subdivision anyway, for another reason. And what we have found is, Tucker, jump in anytime on this.
Usually, whenever so to start off, Second Lake never really was approved by the town or by the planning board to begin with, because it all occurred at the same time that we had adopted our regulations. So it went to APA, went to Warren County Planning, got approved that way. And it was kind of an after effect deal where they had found it wasn't approved by the planning board. So after the fact, they went back and got approved in like 81.
81, the original subdivision was in 75.
And the original didn't have any type of stormwater management on it. Generally, when it goes through the planning board, there'll be like some type of easement showing drainage ways, culverts, all that depicted on the plan. None of that's on there. So there is culverts in there, but none of it's depicted on where it would be in the subdivision plan. So I don't know when or where or how these culverts were put in. All we have is the road dedication, which just reads out the meets and bounds of the roads themselves. That's it. We don't have any type of culvert, drainage easements, stormwater management plans, none of that. So we don't know who put in what.
Right,
Or
we are assuming that the developer put in these culverts. And then after all of that infrastructure was done, they then dedicated the roads to the town, because the town would not have taken ownership of those roads unless they were finished. So we are assuming that that culvert got put in by the developer, not by the town. And so anyway, he thinks, this gentleman would like the town to fix this gully that's going through his property. And we asked Ron to go to the
He wants
site.
to fix it. He wants me to put a culvert pipe all the way across his yard. And then it'll go across, he's got another pipe down below.
On another
So he wants me
street.
to connect up top all the way to the bottom through his property. I'm like, I don't think we can do that.
We're trying to establish, is it our responsibility or the owner's responsibility to fix this problem?
Cause I told him, I said, that culvert was here before your house was here, so why? So it's in the lawyer's hands.
Yeah, it's Mary's.
Yeah, it's Mary.
Well, I mean, we talked about it today, and if it's on his property, there's nothing the town can do.
Okay.
All right, so we will get in touch with him and pass that on. One more thing.
Karen, did you go look at it though?
Tucker went to
I
the,
went to go look at it. I don't know. He doesn't have a pipe in that gravel pit, right? Or is there a pipe? Because he was talking about a pipe.
Yeah, down below, there's another. There's
the second culvert,
It's a second culvert.
Yeah, down below, yes.
but there's no pipe. It's two culverts, one up on.
It's
the
like
hill and
ditch,
then
right?
one
Okay.
below.
Yeah, it's just that, yeah,
There's no pipe through his property at all.
just on this bottom.
Okay,
How long would that hypothetical pipe be?
That would be
Approximately,
200 feet long.
is it got slope?
It's got. a good-
Hypothetically.
Yeah, his house is on a
It's
grade.
slope, good slope.
What's it cost to put it to 100 feet of 10-inch culvert?
Couple of $1,000.
but you can't, the town, I don't think the town legally can improve some individual's property.
No, I'm not advising that we're liable or anything. I'm just thinking what might the worst case be. I assume if we were to say that that might be the cheapest solution to this problem, we'd have to get right of ways or whatever the right legal terms are. Easements.
Could it be? Maybe.
Should be the developer's responsibility.
Or the developers are no longer alive. I don't,
That was kind of a sarcastic shot. I realized the chances of recovering that are somewhere between.
we move on. I have one more.
Yeah, thanks, Karen.
In 1995, a subdivision was approved off of East River Drive down by right now it's marked Talbot Drive, which is past Bluebird Road and going towards Corinth on the left-hand side. It's, I don't know how many lots it is, but it's a pretty big subdivision. It's owned by John Witt Construction. They've contacted our office and they are looking at starting to develop this development. And they are going to send in a request to the town board for the names of the roads. Right now, the subdivision maps show
Cherry
Ridge and North Ridge, and then there's a connector road between between North Ridge and Cherry Ridge that's unnamed. And somebody had already named the road going in Talbot Drive, but that wasn't on the subdivision map. So Tucker wanted them to verify that's what they wanted it named, and this connector road has to be named something. So they're going to be doing that, but we pulled the maps again to look. And what we have found, again, this was done in 1995, is that the roads depicted on this subdivision map, which Tucker and I have looked at the maps, and we feel that the roads come in, Talbot Drive comes in, the road splits, it goes up to North Ridge, and the lower one is Cherry Ridge. They both end with a cul-de-sac at the end, but again, there is a connector road between the two roads near the end where the cul-de-sacs are. So those are really minor roads, not cul-de-sac dead-end roads, except the only piece that are really considered cul-de-sac dead-end roads are the very ends beyond that connector road. But in our subdivision book, which was in effect at the time that this was approved, it calls for a 28 wide pavement to pavement road. Same as these other roads that we've been discussing in the last few years. They're gonna come, they are expecting to dedicate these roads to the town when they get done with this subdivision. That's what is on the plan. And so we looked at those drawing of the road on these plans, and because there's been so much discussion about the width of these roads are, there's a 60-foot easement. The road itself, they depict as being 30 feet wide, but it is made up of a 20-foot wide paved area with 5 feet gravelled edge on both sides, not 28 feet pavement to pavement. And before they get too far into this project, I feel that if they're expecting to dedicate that road to the town needs to tell them that it either needs to be 28 feet wide pavement, which is what is in our subdivision regs. Or we may not accept those roads. I mean, ultimately, the decision to accept roads is up to the town board. You take Ronnie's recommendation, our recommendations, and you make your decision. I did talk to Ron about it today, and he feels that we're making these other people stick to that 28-foot wide requirement that is there right now, that they all should be doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I wanted to put this out there to you because I need to contact these people before they get too far into thinking they're gonna start this construction of these roads at the way they've got them depicted on the plan.
Yeah, it's gonna be 20. They're all gonna be-
I assume that approval has expired, so to speak.
Yeah.
Department of Health, who reviewed it because it was a subdivision thing that the New York State Department has put their approval on it with no sunset date. So if they develop it exactly as it has been recorded, they can still do that
Per the plan.
per the plan. If they make changes in lot sizes or anything like that,
What's our town rule?
our town doesn't have a rule.
There's no
Well, the
expiration.
planning board already approved it, so it's
Right.
approved as written.
Right.
And that would have no expiration. Comments?
So we approved it as the 20 feet
28, no.
or 28.
It was 30-foot subgrade, and then it was 20-foot paved.
Paved.
So that's what it was.
Side per side.
Supposed to be 28 paved.
Correct.
Yep.
But did they state all that on
No.
the plan? Oh, okay.
Oh, what,
On the plan,
on
it
the
shows
plan, it
the-
shows the 20-foot wide and the 5-foot each side gravel.
Yeah, it
And it
depicts the
was
road.
approved as that.
And that's how it was
Oh,
approved.
okay.
That's the issue.
Gotcha.
Any idea of their schedule?
No, we told them that they're gonna have to put down a performance bond and they're gonna have to give us a schedule of events.
But again, I don't want to leave this open-ended because if they made it the way it's shown on those plans and they come here, you're not,
Right.
I don't know whether you will accept the road that way or not.
But with those plans, I mean, they can build it the way they want to do it, but we don't have to.
That is correct,
take
and that's
that.
how I'm going to approach it to them. I'm gonna say you can build it the way it is on there.
But don't expect us to take.
But the
Don't
town does not have to
exactly.
accept those roads
And
at
if
the
you
end.
want the town to accept those roads, you need to do it by the 28 feet.
Correct.
Correct.
I think that's more than reasonable.
Yeah.
Giving them the option, right, giving them the option before it's too late, before they start,
Okay,
right?
Right.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I think we're in agreement.
okay,
We're in agreement.
that's all I have. Sorry.
It's okay.
No, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Thanks for the apology.
Anybody up here have anything to add? Anybody out there have anything to add in terms of putting something on the agenda for next meeting? Is there anybody on TV? Just a little FYI, the lithium storage battery situation came up at the county level this morning. So they're starting to talk about it too.
Well, Town of Queensbury just put in one in on their capped landfill area.
Yeah,
A
battery storage?
system.
No, it's just a solar,
yeah.
solar farm.
Most of them in the county don't have battery storage.
I saw more.
They go directly into the grid.
This isn't tied into solar. This is. So
The one that we,
Oh, it's just a,
it's a battery, it's all solely for the power line. It's through National Grid. They're trying to increase the efficiency of the power line. It draws.
same issue.
Yeah.
Can I
Draws
just ask you a
14
question?
And gives back when it's.
Yeah.
Is there any kind, I mean, anywhere you go, people are complaining about the national grid right now. Their bills doubled or whatever the case may be. Do we have any way of having enough property where we can create the solar farm and take care of our own towns with that? Have them buy the power back from us?
that would be something you'd have to talk.
We got a dam that needs.
I mean, you've got the,
How much power you get from it.
you've got the capped landfill area. I don't know whether you could bring in something there or not, but you also, I don't know whether. There's so many entities involved. You've got DEC involved with the landfill area because of contamination and stuff, correct? I don't know. My thought would be the landfill area for like, I mean, Warrensburg did that. Warrensburg put in a big solar farm at their landfill area.
Benefit from it?
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
That would be.
The sun just put one in.
418.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chester has theirs at Dynamite Hill.
But is that just for the town or is that for the
It's for the
people?
town, but I don't know exactly what it feeds to.
Yeah.
I think it has, I don't know. You would have to talk to someone who's in that business or an engineer about it.
mean,
I don't know whether the town would benefit directly or if you would like be selling them energy and you would get that credit
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah, it could be any one of 3 or 4 arrangements. Somebody
I
might
don't know
just be
the answer to
leasing
your
the land.
question, but I think someone could look.
Well, we had that gentleman came.
That's what I'm thinking
It
of,
was-
yes.
But that was just for the town
Town
building.
people, yes.
But I mean, if we had something that we can help our residents with. I mean, we've got people hurting with the doubling up their bills. They can't afford it. You know, they're taking our livelihood away. And if we can help any way we can. I'd sort of like to at least pursue it a little bit.
Well,
I'll talk about.
I don't know who's going to do.
Well, Corinth has a big one down there too.
They have a couple.
Talk to some other town supervisors that have them in their town, on their properties, and find out how, what they do with it. Does it benefit them directly? How, what happens? That's what I would do. I would reach out to other towns that have it already and ask them how the program works, what they, right from start to finish.
Jim, you got this down?
I'll be more than willing to call Kevin.
Okay.
He says,
Perfect.
I don't know what arrangement they have. They're probably just leasing the land, but I don't know that.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Nobody on TV? Nobody in the public? Mayor, motion to adjourn.
No.
No, executive session.
Motion to go into executive session.
Okay, what's the reason?
Personnel.
Personnel.
Personnel? Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
I don't know.
We will not be conducting any other business after we finish.
Correct.